All right, let's just jump right in. If you're a founder, a creator, you know this feeling. It's this constant tug of war, right? You know you have to get visible to grow your thing. But then there's that voice in your head that's always whispering, not yet, you're not quite ready. It's got to be perfect first. Well, today we're going to absolutely tear that idea apart. We're going to show you why waiting for ready is actually the biggest trap of all.
And this, right here, this is the core idea we're going to unpack. It's a little bit counterintuitive, maybe even feels a bit scary, but it is the absolute truth. See, visibility isn't some finish line you get to cross after you've perfected everything. No, it's the starting block. It's just a decision you make right here, right now.
So let's really tackle this head on. Most of us, and I've been there too, we believe we need to build up this massive internal reserve of confidence before we can dare to hit publish or go live. We think confidence is the price of admission for being seen, but what if we've got it completely backward?
This slide just flips the whole script. The myth, the story we tell ourselves, is that confidence has to come first. But the reality? Courage is the real first step. It's about taking one small, maybe even shaky action. It's about getting visible even when you feel unsure. And it's that act, that little moment of courage, that actually builds the confidence you were waiting around for. Confidence is a result of action, not a requirement for it.
Okay, so every time you put it off, every time you tell yourself, oh, I'll post that when I'm more prepared, you're not just waiting, you're actually paying for it. There's a price. And I like to call this the readiness tax. It's this hidden cost that's keeping so many brilliant ideas locked away in the dark. Let's be really clear about what this is. The readiness tax is the penalty you pay for inaction that you've disguised as responsible preparation. You know, it's the audience you're not connecting with, the authority you're not building, all because you're waiting for this magical feeling of perfect that, let's be honest, is probably never going to arrive. That disconnect is exactly where you feel the cost.
Seriously, just take a second and think about that. What conversations are you not a part of? What cool opportunities are just flying by while you're sitting on the sidelines, getting ready? This isn't just a rhetorical question. This is the very real cost of waiting.
All right, I get it. This can all feel a little bit abstract. So let's look at a real-world example of how this whole thing plays out. And this isn't a story about being perfect. It's a story about the incredible power of one single imperfect action.
I mean, we've all been here, right? So there's this creator, and she has this really powerful message, but she just sits on it for weeks. The fear was totally real. It felt too honest, too raw, maybe a little too vulnerable. She was completely stuck in that editing loop, trying to sand down the very edges that made it special.
And then the moment of courage happened. Not confidence, courage. Her heart was probably pounding, she felt totally unsure, but she hit publish anyway. It wasn't some big, bold, certain move. It was a shaky, uncertain one. And that made all the difference. This wasn't a lack of professionalism, you see. It was a high authority act of pure courage. So what happened? The response she got proves everything we're talking about. The audience didn't see weakness, they felt a connection, a resonance. They responded with this incredible warmth because she chose to be real instead of polished. The moment she acted, she stopped paying that readiness tax. It's the courage to show up, even when you're not sure, that really connects with people.
Here's the thing, your audience doesn't actually need the perfectly curated, flawless version of you. That's what we think they want. But what do they truly connect with? The real humanity behind it all, the honest resonance. They connect to what's real, not what's been polished into oblivion. So if courage is the answer, how do we practice it? How do we make it a habit? Well, that question brings us to a really practical framework called the Bold Signal Protocol. You can think of it as the foundational brick for building a truly visible identity. The core idea here is so simple. Stop trying to broadcast some perfect, flawless image of yourself. Instead, just focus on sending out honest signals. A signal is just a clear, simple message that shows what you actually think and believe. It's these little signals, sent out consistently over time, that really build your presence.
And here's how you actually do it. It's a simple three-step process. First, just identify one single honest thought, something that feels true and important to you right now. Second, share it simply. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about the perfect format. And third, and yeah, this is the hardest part, you have to release the need for it to be perfect. Just let it go. Let it be an honest signal.
This all brings us to the final and most crucial shift, and it's an internal one. It's all about moving away from that habit of constantly editing ourselves and instead choosing, deliberately, to be seen for who we really are and what we truly stand for.
Just let that sink in for a second. Every time you hold back, every time you soften your message just to make it a little more palatable for everyone, you are literally editing yourself down. You're shrinking your own presence to fit inside a box that was never meant for you in the first place.
And here is maybe the biggest takeaway of all. That message you've been holding back, it isn't just content. It's your authority. It's your presence. It's your stature. Choosing to finally share it isn't just a marketing tactic. It's you finally stepping into the role that you were always meant to fill.
And it all comes back to this one idea. You don't need some massive, heroic one-time act. Visibility is built brick by brick, signal by signal, through consistent small acts of courage. It's the daily choice to just show up, especially before you feel ready.
So I'll leave you with this question. Not tomorrow, not next week when you feel more confident, but today, right now. What is one honest thought, one simple signal you can send out into the world? Because that moment, right there, that is the moment your visibility truly begins.